y'all, I grossed $12,000 last month in September, working under 20 hours a week on reselling Poshmark and eBay, as well as social media and digital products. It is my best month I have ever had. I've been doing this for almost 3 years, and it's pretty amazing, to be completely honest. However, that's not what my take home is. And in today's video, I am going to be breaking that down for you, breaking down what that gross number actually is once you get it to a net number, taking out cost of goods, taking out shipping and fees and expenses. Even though I work from home, there are still expenses that are associated with this business. And then taxes, y'all. You have to pay taxes. Any revenue that you are bringing in, you have to file taxes for. And if you didn't know, the IRS is making you do it this year. Anything over $600 on any platform, they will be sending you a 1099. So make sure to be saving for those taxes and planning for those taxes. We're going to get into it. I'm going to be showing you guys my profit and loss statement today. So I'm going to be starting with my gross and then showing you. Full disclosure, I am showing you all of these numbers and taking out shippings and fees, taking out expenses and cost of goods and taxes to show you what my actual bottom line number is from that $12,000, as well as my split out, because I am not only a reseller, you guys are obviously watching me on YouTube. So what my split out is between Poshmark and eBay, as well as YouTube and digital products that I have. And then getting down to that very bottom line net number. If you're new to the channel, just a little bit of background so you know kind of what numbers are reflecting and what we're looking at. I work under 20 hours a week. I am a full-time mom. I have 3 children. Thankfully, they are back in school for now. Last year was rough because I was remote teaching them, but my youngest is preschool half day. So I get about 2.5 hours, 4 days a week. One day I volunteer at the kids' school to work. And so I'm working under 20 hours a week. Sometimes I work on the weekends as well. We're looking at September numbers. I know this is the end of October. It is a busy, busy month for us. We have 3 birthdays and Halloween and fall festivities and conferences and all that. So it's a busy month. I apologize for this being a little bit late, but we are looking at September numbers. I do have 3 digital products and 2 courses. You'll see the split out from this revenue as well. These are for resellers, dashboards, Google Sheets, courses to help you look at your numbers to be able to make the money that you want to make. The other thing is I do have a virtual assistant. So this is one of the other ways that I am able to work under 20 hours a week and continue to make these high gross revenue numbers. You will see in today's video, though, it comes out of my expenses. So full disclosure, that $12,000 is amazing, but when you have expenses behind it, you will see what that net number actually is. I do have a process on my virtual assistant. So if you go to my processes playlist, there is a video on my step-by-step process if you're looking at using a virtual assistant. And I do have a video coming out on how to decide if it's worth putting that money up front to make the money. It's scary to spend the money on it, but I will walk you through step by step on how to figure out if a virtual assistant is really something that you should be doing or you're considering doing, how to decide if it's worth it in your reselling business. And then lastly, I sell women's clothing, shoes, and purses. This channel is dedicated to teaching you how to resell it. So sometimes I share my what's sold, but if you don't sell those type of items, this channel is still really going to help you in your reselling business, side hustle, whatever it is, to make the money that you want to make. But that's where I'm coming from. The numbers that from reselling are coming from thrifted, the Goodwill outlet bins, and liquidation. 90% women's clothing, shoes, and purses. Every once in a while, I'll dabble in men's, trying to get into it more, but I just really don't know it. That's another video. So let's get into it. Like I said, we are going to be looking at my profit and loss. This is a Google Sheet. I am very proficient in Google Sheet. My husband as well helps do the bookkeeping and the profit and loss. Very sufficient in Google Sheets and Excel. If you're looking for something like this for your business, I have not used them, but I know a lot of resellers use GoDaddy. It works directly with eBay. There's also QuickBooks and Quicken where you link it to your bank account and then it should be giving you reports similar to this. But this is essentially a profit and loss. It starts with gross, so that encompasses everything all the money that I make. That encompasses my shipping and my fees, and then we'll take that out and strip it down to get down to the net. So this is not the right number. We are looking at August. All right, I was on the wrong tab. So now we're into September. The tab I was on was August. If you want to see August, this is a monthly series. So if you want to see my August tie out my August how much money I made, you guys can check out how much money I made playlist. So September, you can see my gross revenue. So remember, we'll break it down, but this includes all of my reselling as well as YouTube, affiliate marketing, digital products, courses, and stuff that I have. We will get into that split out though, so make sure to stay tuned. Gross revenue for the month, $12,096.07, y'all. Like, it's mind-blowing to me. That is going to be for a total of 325 items sold. Now, you can't take an average sale price from that gross because that includes other revenue streams that I have. If you guys want to see more details and breakouts into what my average sale price is and strategies that I'm using to make this money, I do a weekly what sold video where I go over my progress towards $10,000 and really look at those numbers as well. I had 18 returns this month. That's all from eBay. I have eBay returns on my eBay store. It allows me to be a top rated seller plus. If you look at the eBay tutorial playlist, I go in depth into how to decide if it's worth it for you and what data and metrics to look at on eBay to really decide that. My cost of goods sold. So this is how much money that it costs to sell these 325 items. Not to be confused with a cash flow of how much money I spent this month, but this is how much money it took for these items, how much money I spent on the items that sold, these 325 items. That is for an average cost of goods of around $8.38. If you have been following me, you guys know that I have been going more towards the bins and thrift store, and you can see that reflecting in my cost of goods. It's going from $10, $11 to, slowly down to $8. This is something that's going to take time because I still have a lot of liquidation. I'm going from buying liquidation palette almost every month because last year, things were closed down, but I also wasn't able to get outsourcing because I was remote teaching the children. So I still have a lot of liquidation. I was going from purchasing a pallet almost every month to now I'm kind of doing it a quarter to fill in when I don't have time to thrift as often. This is a great example. This week my kids are off on Friday, so normally that would be a day that I would go to the bins. I don't have that time. I still have some pallet that I can kind of supplement. I am doing videos on that. I do have a video coming out kind of on my new sourcing strategy, so make sure to hit that subscribe button and you guys can see that. All right, so this is going to give us a gross profit. So of the gross revenue, once you take out the cost of goods, my gross profit margin is going to be 77%. So a lot of times you will likely see this number on social media. People will share, hey, my gross profit, or this is how much I'm making, 77%, which is still pretty legit. We have a very low cost of goods. However, there's other things that go into this, and I am going to be sharing this with you. So make sure to follow to the very end to see that last net number after you take everything out. At a gross revenue though, this puts me working roughly 15 hours a week. October's been really busy and I started volunteering. So I am closer to probably 15 hours a week lately. This month, it puts me at an hourly wage of $201. Y'all, I am not mad about that one single bit. $200 an hour to stay home with my babies and have the flexibility. Absolutely worth it. However, that's not what I'm actually putting into my bank account. Now let's look at the split out and then we will get into shipping and fees, expenses, and taxes. Like I said, these are all of my revenue streams. I have dashboards and courses for sale, as well as y'all are watching me on YouTube, making AdSense money from YouTube. I am an affiliate for other products. So I have an affiliate program. If you have the dashboard, I pay out affiliates, and we'll see that in my expenses. The affiliates that you see here is people paying me. I do not have the business model that I am trying to bank money from affiliates. It's not something that I really push. I just have it simply from products that I use and believe in, and then I am given a coupon code because I am on social media to share with you guys. So you can see that affiliate breakout is very small, definitely not part of my business plan. eBay, if you guys have been following me, so something interesting to note here, my Poshmark is up 27%. 27% of this $12,000 is coming from Poshmark. One of the big reasons that this number is as high as it is because of Poshmark. I'm not getting into that in this for the sake of this video, but I will link a video up here on what happened on Poshmark in September. So previous months I was closer to like 10, 12, maybe 14%. I'm up to 12%, which then pushes eBay down a little bit more. These are small slices. But the nice thing about it is my dashboard is essentially passive income. I created it, 2 years ago, and it just keeps giving me income. I'm going to give you a caveat of it sells itself on Etsy for the most part, but social media marketing, so some of this YouTube and the time that I put into social media, Instagram, YouTube, showing the dashboard does go into some of that revenue. So it's not completely passive income. I like to point that out because people are like, oh, how do I make passive income? And I don't really think there's such a thing. The dashboard is passive income in the sense that I haven't made it. I made it a couple years ago, but the marketing and the social media and just making people aware of it is definitely something that I'm constantly having to do. So back to the profit and loss, we're now going to get into shipping and fees. So this is something that you don't have a lot of control over it. You do a little bit because there are so many platforms out there now. In the dashboard, you guys can see this in other what sold videos, not the purpose of today's video, but in the dashboard, I go through and I look at all of the different platforms. You look at what your profit is on them. I can actually show you what the chart looks like. So let's look at what the chart looks like. I had it up yesterday looking at it. So this is in my dashboard. If you guys want access to this as well, it's a Google Sheet. So you would just copy and paste your data and have access to it. But you have control over what your profit is and what the shipping and fees are from the extent of on eBay, you can do promoted listings depending on what you sell on. If you're a top rated seller, there's a couple different programs that can help with your fees. Poshmark is a flat 20%, but Facebook Marketplace is now 5%. So I can move into Facebook Marketplace and say, hey, I want to lower my fees to increase my net revenue. I'm going to try some other platforms, and then looking at these charts is going to tell you, hey, you're actually making money. So you can see my eBay and Poshmark profit is about the same. However, the volume on eBay, even though I'm making about the same profit, the volume is just really there. Not the purpose of this video. Make sure to subscribe I go in depth into a lot of those metrics, but you don't have so much control over your selling fees from that aspect. I will say I am a top rated seller plus. I've done videos on it, but you can just Google that on eBay. And if you meet so many of their standards like free shipping, free returns, you have good metrics, you're following through with all of the things that you need to be doing, you're not a poor seller, you're giving great customer service, they give you a 10% off of your fees. So that does help lower my fees. But I do have promoted listings on. So those are the two things that are kind of moving my fees right now. They say they're staying pretty consistent at about 13% fees on eBay. Like I said, Poshmark fees are 20%. It is what it is. Shipping for me, I do basically a pass-through. On eBay, I do a flat rate fee. So not to be confused with USPS flat rate shipping, where you have the bubble envelopes and it just costs roughly $8.50, I think, or whatever it is to ship in those. Everything under 1 pound is $4.99. So sometimes it costs me a little bit more, sometimes it costs me a little bit less, but I found that works the best for me, for my customer base, and I'm in Colorado. So it costs me roughly about the same to ship regardless of where I am. So point in that is I don't really shoot to make money off of shipping. Shipping on Poshmark is going to be, so if you're new to Poshmark, covers the shipping. It's one flat fee. Everyone pays, I think it's like $7.99 to ship anything that you purchase, including bundles up to 5 pounds. But if you send an offer from offer to likes, offer to likers. A few of you guys have called me out on saying it wrong, and now I don't remember what the right way is. But if you send offers on Poshmark, you have to send a shipping discount. That's where this shipping comes from in Poshmark, because that then is coming out of your profits. That puts my contribution margin now down at $6,137.28. So now we're at about a half of our gross revenue for the month. And something I'd like to point out is a lot of times I will hear in the community, hey, you know, my profit is about 50%. And I'm thinking this is probably what they're talking about: shipping fees, COGs, and selling fees. But you have to keep in mind expenses. And depending on how big your business is, if you're paying for a warehouse, you're paying for employees, you're paying for different things, your expenses are going to be pretty big. I work from my home. We'll see in a minute. I'll show you my expenses split out. I work from my home, so I don't have a ton of expenses, but it still is going to bring down that net income every month. And let's go ahead and look at it. So the expenses for this month are $1,095.41. So those expenses split out, you can see that large blue in every single month is virtual assistants. That is the largest chunk of my expenses. I am doing video. It is coming out shortly, so make sure to subscribe on why that's worth it for me and how to decide if it's worth it for you to spend money. Is it actually going to make you more money in spending this money on a virtual assistant? And then the other thing you can see here is the next biggest is office supplies. It costs money to buy poly mailers. If you're increasing your store, you have to buy more bins and more shelves. And if you go to a storage space, right? Some of the other things that go into expenses is shrink and loss. If there's items that you've had for a long time and you're trying to get rid of them, donation. So this for me typically is, hey, I go to the bins, I get home and there's a hole in an item I didn't realize. So then I either donate it. I donate it typically to a nonprofit for children in our district that don't have clothing. So even a small flaw, they're still getting something out of it, but that goes into, it's something that I spent money on. It's not a cost of goods because I didn't sell it. It is now an expense that I paid for, but it's not going to be sold. Virtual assistant, like I said, office supplies. I have a website for my digital products. That is a monthly fee. Some of it's annual fees that I have to pay for different add-ons. Reselling is going to be List Perfectly. That is, I pay for a monthly subscription for List Perfectly. You can see my Poshmark went up. Cross-listing definitely works for me, and I go into that into my Poshmark video that I linked earlier. Consignment, I don't do consignment really anymore, but every once in a while I have a consignment, and paying out those consignment is an expense. Baking fees, it does cost to be, have a bank account sometimes. Phone, internet, electricity, water, trash, marketing, if you're paying for any kind of marketing expenses, IT and tech, and then affiliate payments. So those affiliate payments are going to be for dashboards, for my dashboards, my courses. If you have them and you promote them, you can get paid out for that. So that is going to put my profit before taxes. So once you take out cost of goods, selling fees, shipping, and expenses, my profit before I have a savings line for taxes is going to be 41% of that gross revenue, $5,000. So of that $12,000, we are now talking $5,000 profit. But then you need to get into taxes. So this is going to be different for everyone, and I am going to recommend talking to your CPA on it. It is going to matter on what tax bracket you're in. If it's your full-time income, or if you have a partner who's bringing in an income, you can kind of work your taxes together. My baseline, so what I am assuming when I am looking at my taxes is I am assuming a 20% federal tax rate. I'm assuming a 15% self-employed tax rate. So if you're working for yourself, you don't have a company who is supplementing some of that. And then in Colorado, we have a 5% tax rate. So that puts me at 40% taxes. I'd save 40% of that profit before taxes. I will show you this number in just a second. Of that $5,000, I am taking 40% of that out, and I save it every month, and then I am paying quarterly. Talk to your CPA about what the best way to do it, but I'm just telling you what I do. And then at the end of the year, we'll kind of reconcile everything, file with my husband, and figure out if I get money back or if I have to pay more. But that's kind of the process of what I do. And so that puts my profit less taxes at $4,000 and $4,023.27 for an hourly of $67. If you guys like this video, YouTube thinks you'd also like this video, I will link a playlist here of how to make money reselling, and then make sure to hit that subscribe button.